just want to make this video because tomorrow's, or in an hour, is my brother's birthday, or would be my brother's birthday. Um, I'll tell you guys what happened today. Something very interesting. Uh, I went to Canadian Tire to get a black T-shirt. They said they had 3 in stock on the internet, on the website. When I got there was none. I freaked out, lost my cool, and was eventually escorted out by the security. So, it's happened hundreds of times to me, so I didn't really care. As I'm leaving, I'm trying to figure, okay, what happened? What happened? Like I lost it. Cool. Okay. And I remembered. I said, oh, I'm right. I wasn't angry about the T-shirts. I wasn't angry about the computer. On the way in, I remembered that it was my brother's birthday the next day, tomorrow. And then I started thinking about my mother. And on the way down to the T-shirt aisle, I was thinking about what they did to my parent, to my brother, and what they did to me. And that's it. When I hit the T-shirts, I didn't consciously remember that I wasn't consciously thinking what I was angry at. But just like I've discovered, I projected it right out onto Canadian Tire. And I think I'm gonna figure out over time that every time I'm angry, it's because on an unconscious, subconscious, preconscious level, I'm angry at my primary object, the parents, and that might be where the source of all the anger comes from when I was young. One other thing I'm going to tell you guys that's just the most, I don't know what the word is. I have these dreams. I've had these dreams since this happened. And they are absolute horror stories. And yet it happened to me. And that's really what I'm going to get down to. And I think it's why I wake up just in a bad mood, very depressed. I don't wake up in good moods. I think I have this same dream over and over again every night. It's basically what happened to me. When my brother died, all of a sudden I didn't have my brother. I was like, well, I felt alone. But so then I called my parents, and then my father told me that if I wanted to just disappear and not see the family ever again, my parents, then he would understand. Just came out of nowhere. So all of a sudden I don't have my father. So then, okay, I have my mother. She's always been there for me. I'm dealing with my mother. And then she tells me, this is after my brother died, after my father dropped me. My mother tells me, I never wanted to have kids to begin with. Meanwhile, my whole life she always said she wanted to have 2 boys. It worked out just perfectly. So when she told me that, now I don't have my brother, now I don't have my father, now my mother is gone. And then I remember calling my uncle. And I told him my parents are trying to kill me. That's when they were chasing me down at some point. And he said, oh, I thought it was going to be important. He goes, can you call me later? No, he didn't even want me to call him. He just wanted to get rid of me. So it was this panic, this traumatic experience where all of a sudden, in a world that I thought I was part of a web or part of a society or part of a family or just part of a culture, I was discarded completely by all of them. I wasn't just discarded by my mother. I was discarded by my father, by my aunts, by my cousins, by everybody. Disgusting people. I told you guys, if you didn't watch the video or if you're new to this channel or whatever you found me, my parents knew Epstein. There's this older man, Les, who was the financier of Epstein. I think that was my mother's boyfriend or something. He's older than my mother by 10 years, and that would fit because, anyways, I know my mother is exactly that sick kind of person, my father, that they're completely demented. They're completely demented. So I had this experience 2 days ago that just left me in tears. I'll share it with you now because it's along the same lines. I'm in the mall, returning my cans, and there's this woman. She comes out of the store, fruit store, and she starts calling for her girl, her daughter, Jane, and there's no little girl around. I'm looking, who's she calling? I don't see anybody. And then she asks some other person, hey, have you seen a little girl? And the woman says, no, I don't see anyone. So I start to get nervous for the woman, like, it's a mall. That's usually where kids get abducted, right? So I'm looking around for a little girl, and I don't see a little girl. I know the whole area well. I know the layout of all the stores. I know this place inside out. I'm thinking, there's no little girl. And the woman starts to scream, okay? Jean. I mean, I was, even just thinking about it now, it was overwhelming emotions, panic, desperation, hopelessness, fear. It was just awful. Anyways, I was ready to start running around looking for some big guy holding this little girl. I don't know what I was going to do. I guess I'd just jump on him and start pounding his face or something. But I was just going to wait 10 more seconds. She ran into the store. Again, I said, if she doesn't come out with that girl, I don't see the girl here, I'm going to start looking. And then I started to imagine, oh my God, what if we can't find the little girl? Like, it's going to be some trauma sitting with me forever. I'm always going to be wondering, what happened? Who was it? Anyways, thank God the little girl was in the store. She was only like 1 year old. So she wasn't even old enough to call mommy. You know what I mean? She was just a wandering little tot who could barely stand. So I don't know what the mother was thinking. But then I started to remember how my mother would bring me to the shopping malls, and she'd leave me for hours. She'd leave me as a little boy for hours. And she'd say if I get lost, to go to the information booth and they'll page her. Tell them your last name and they'll page her. So I would do that basically every weekend. I think my mother tried to get rid of me. I think she wanted me to get abducted. She wanted me to get killed or something. So anyways, these dreams that I have where all of a sudden, just like it happened in reality, people are not there for me, is just, I can't explain what it does to my subconscious. It makes me feel like even though I'm in a world with billions of people, I'm alone in this brain. And then when I kind of wake up, I realize, holy shit, I am alone in this brain. Like, we're always alone in this brain. And even though we can make relationships and have relationships, we're always stuck in our brain, and we're always kind of alone. No matter, even though I'm talking to you, well, I'm not talking to anybody, I'm talking to a camera. But even if you were standing in front of me, I always kind of feel like I'm alone in a way. Anyhow, very sad times. I feel really bad for people, you know. I don't know if other people had the same experience as I did, because I know what narcissism, like my mother was chasing me at the end. She was stalking me, so I didn't necessarily feel abandoned by her until she told me that. But even, you know, once she told me that, it was too late for her to chase me. But I don't think with narcissists it's so much like they disappear. Maybe it is. Maybe I shouldn't say that, you know. I hear a lot, they disappear. Anyways, my parents killed my brother. They didn't care. They still don't care. So rest in peace, Stu. And for all of you who are suffering now, I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, hang in there. It gets better with time. And yeah, it does.